In the peaceful frames of the past, a kaleidoscope of regular occurrences unfolds, offering a vivid portrait of life in 1940s America. These photographs, brought to life in the brilliant hues of Kodachrome film, take us to a time when the country was on the verge of upheaval, providing a vivid backdrop to the era's problems and successes. The city streets witnessed the rhythms of the working class, with uniformed men and women commuting in large groups for a single goal. These cities' neighborhoods exemplified variety and community. Immigrant enclaves, or neighborhoods distinguished by cultural identity, thrived in urban areas. These vibrant pictures serve as windows into a bustling city, giving a compelling picture of a metropolis on the verge of transformation. Fifth Avenue is crowded with fashionable pedestrians dressed in vintage clothing. Vintage automobiles drive through the streets, their glossy surfaces reflecting the vivid signs and architecture that distinguish the city. Street vendors sell their wares, youngsters play impromptu games, and laborers work with a clear purpose. Each snapshot captures a microcosm of existence, preserving hidden stories and forgotten events from a bygone era. Small family-owned stores played an important role in the retail scene throughout an era of industrialization, urbanization, and changing customer patterns. These businesses, which were frequently operated by local entrepreneurs and passed down through generations, provided customized services, specialty items, and a sense of community that larger retail chains struggled to match. These images not only depict the physical appearance of these establishments, but they also capture the socio-economic and cultural fiber of the time. One noticeable feature of these photographs is the variety of the establishments themselves. Neighborhood grocery stores, hardware stores, clothing boutiques, and corner pharmacies were among the businesses represented by these retailers. Old photographs of New York City's Easter Parade provide a fascinating view into the past, highlighting the opulent celebrations of the city's elite in the early 20th century. The Easter Parade was an annual event in which New Yorkers dressed in their finest and marched through the streets to celebrate Easter Sunday. The procession became a popular social event, attracting the city's wealthy and fashionable, who showed off their latest outfits and magnificent headgear. The parade also received media attention, with newspapers and magazines publishing images of the elegant guests, making it a popular cultural phenomenon at the time. These antique images act as a time capsule, providing an intriguing glimpse into New York City's social scene from a bygone era. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a nearly century-old American tradition. Every year, millions of people line the streets of New York City to see the legendary parade, which includes towering floats, marching bands, and massive helium balloons. The parade has grown and become more spectacular throughout the years, but the magic of the early days lives on in antique images that capture the march's essence. These images not only provide a fascinating peek into the past, but also demonstrate the imagination and genius of the parade organizers who brought these beautiful spectacles to reality. San Francisco has the oldest and largest Chinatown in North America. It is also one of the largest Chinese communities outside of Asia. Since its founding in 1848, it has played a major and influential role in the history and culture of ethnic Chinese immigration in North America. The region has a rich and complex history, characterized by immigration, prejudice, and persistence. The first Chinese immigrants to San Francisco arrived during the California Gold Rush in 1848. They were looking for economic opportunities as well as an escape from China's poverty and political upheaval. Many early immigrants were males who worked in mines, railroads, and other manual labor jobs. Traditionally, these photographs have been taken in grainy black and white, providing a glimpse into an era typified by Hoovervilles, long unemployment lines, and people standing in line for a bite of food. However, the Library of Congress's amazing collection of images has shattered this monochromatic story, presenting the Great Depression in breathtaking, vibrant color. These stunning photos depict the perseverance of families, the resurgence of farming communities, and the joyous moments enjoyed at state fairs as the country gradually emerged from its darkest days. These photographs, taken between 1939 and 1941, depict an America that was just beginning to recover from a catastrophic financial collapse that had left over 15 million Americans unemployed by 1933. In the days before digital photography and the convenience of immediate uploads, there was a lovely and creative option for developing your personal memories: Photomat. During the 1980s, these drive-through photo processing booths studded the American landscape, offering individuals a quick and simple option to turn their film rolls into physical prints. Photomat first appeared in the late 1960s, capitalizing on the growing popularity of amateur photography and the demand for photo processing services. The concept was simple but revolutionary: a compact drive-through kiosk where consumers could conveniently drop off their film rolls for developing. This breakthrough eliminated the need to visit a traditional photo lab or stand in long lines, providing unprecedented convenience in the picture processing sector. Henry Ford was not the first to invent the assembly line, but his automobile and moving assembly line were unquestionably the most successful and iconic. After designing his first automobile in 1896, Ford relocated his workshops to Mack Avenue and then to Paquette Avenue in Detroit. The first two factories were small-scale facilities designed for modest automobile manufacture. Only in 1913, at Ford's third factory in Highland Park, did mass production start on a really huge scale. As seen in these rare pictures, Ford used assembly line tactics throughout the factory for all areas of car manufacture. The consequent productivity increases and price decreases prompted manufacturers of all types to emulate Ford's innovative manufacturing practices. In 1953, the largest vessel to traverse the Mississippi River and Illinois waterway, at the time, made its way into downtown via the Chicago River. According to the Chicago Tribune, the steel freighter was 634 feet long and 70 feet wide, with only 7 inches of space on either side at Van Buren Street. In the photograph, the Marine Angel makes a sharp turn by the Wrigley Building and narrowly avoids the side of the river, where the Trump Tower presently sits. The Bonneville Salt Flats are located in Utah, USA, near the Nevada border, and as the name suggests, they are a large and flat region of terrain. Speed fanatics began racing on the terrain as early as 1912. Since 1935, Bonneville has been a popular location for land speed record attempts, with the majority of records set there between 1935 and 1970. Bill Rischel, who rode across the area to win a competition held by newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst in 1896, was the first to notice the flat's potential as a speed testing ground. In 1907, Rischel and 2 local businessmen drove a Pierce Arrow onto the salt flats to assess its aptitude for driving. These vibrant photographs from inside the 1972 Texas State Fair Exposition Hall show visitors sampling a wide range of their state's products, from eggs and meat to pecans and spring water. The Dallas State Fair and Exposition, from which the current State Fair of Texas derives, was established as a private organization on January 30, 1886, by a group of Dallas industrialists. The idea was to develop an annual event for the state's farmers, ranchers, and business owners to congregate and showcase their products, while also providing tourists with a variety of entertainment options. In the summer of 1907, the Paris newspaper Le Matin and the New York Times announced the Great Race, New York to Paris, by automobile. The prize was a 1,400-pound trophy, and showing that it was possible. The race began at Times Square on February 12, 1908. 6 cars from 4 different countries began what would become a 169-day nightmare. Germany, France, Italy, and the United States all competed, with the Protos representing Germany, Azoust representing Italy, 3 automobiles, the Dion Bouton, Motobloc, and Césaire Naudin representing France, and a Thomas Flyer representing the US.